We are joined by a famous gentleman and a gentleman who hates the Jets, which I find fascinating. The great Jerry Ferrara joins us today. Jerry, thank you very much for sitting in for Craig today.
You know, it's wonderful to be here. Obviously, I'm a New York kid, so this place means a lot to me. But also, this was the first year I didn't actually, hate the Jets as much.
Well,
as much.
They may be testing you because I don't know if you saw this, but Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson said, we want Aaron Rodgers so much. They're like me. I feel like I'm very similar, minus the athleticism, as those three guys. They decided we are so desperate for Aaron Rodgers, we're going to burn the cheesehead that Sauce took from the game last year. We're going to call him A-Raj over and over again, and we're basically going to send this video out to the world into the ethos because we're so desperate for Aaron Rodgers, and I got to tell you, I love every second of it.
Now, here's my question for you, my Jet fan friend. Do you think they went rogue here, or is this also maybe management say, yeah, you know what, make the video, guy? Or did they go completely rogue independent agents?
They went completely rogue.
Agree.
And maybe this will piss you off because this just happened. Sauce Gardner, and how do you not love Sauce Gardner? What kind of human being are you to not just love this man? He, about an hour ago, tweets out a picture of him FaceTiming with another individual. That individual, Odell Beckham Jr.
So I'm in on the cheesehead burning. Does that make you start to say, let's maybe go talk to him and see what's going on? Are we going to know who he's talking to or about every day until moves are made?
Yes. I think right now Sauce Gardner and Breece and Garrett are going through the same thing everyone else is going through. We want to know what the hell's going to happen. And trust me, I know that it sucks that we're sitting here on a Friday and there's no answer to the Aaron Rodgers question. But they're doing what we're all doing. They're waiting bated breath to find out, is Aaron Rodgers coming to New York? And they want him. And to me, that means something because there's been a debate amongst Jet fans, non-Jet fans, and we'll find out where you stand on this, where they shouldn't be going after him or they should be going after him. Well, the roster in one loud voice is making it clear how they feel, which is Aaron Rodgers is the answer. Go get his ass.
I just hope it doesn't backfire. And what I mean by that is if it, for whatever reason, doesn't work out with Rodgers. Now, say you are all right, it's the Jimmy G era, or we're bringing Mike White back. A big part of the young core of that team wanted Aaron Rodgers in the building. And now you're like, hey, guys, I'm not Aaron, but here I am. Is that going to be weird if it's Jimmy G walking through that door?
Bro, we are in a world now, and we've all had this in life, where we have talked ourselves into something so amazing that if it doesn't happen, it's just going to suck. And I think for me, for a lot of Jet fans, and certainly for those guys, if they don't end up with Aaron Rodgers, no matter what else they do this offseason, it's going to be very, very difficult to capture the excitement that those guys and Jet fans have right now because, and you tell me if I'm right about this, Aaron Rodgers gives them the best chance to win a championship. And those guys know it.
Again, for the first time ever watching a year, not absolutely rooting against the Jets and hating on them because I enjoyed their team so much. They were so much fun to watch, minus the quarterback play. You just look around in the AFC. If you want to compete, I'm sorry, I love Jimmy G. I thought Mike White was frisky last year. You have to take the swing. It has to be on that level because if you want to compete with Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert, if the Chargers ever know how to hold on to a lead, Trevor Lawrence is ascending. You need that. If it was the NFC, I'd say, all right, maybe you're okay with Jimmy G.
I agree.
Maybe you're okay with Mike White. It's the AFC. It's different.
Do you think I should burn a Brett Favre Jet jersey? Do you think that would be something we as fans can do that will be our way of doing what Breece and Garrett Wilson and Sauce did? What can we burn as Jet fans to equal the cheesehead burning of the great Sauce Gardner?
That's the funny part of this whole thing. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, always have been. You don't know what it's going to be that's going to make him say, all right, yeah, let's do it. You just don't know what he's looking for. Is he going to live in Manhattan? Is he going to live in the suburbs? Where is he going to be if he comes? You just don't know. But if you're looking at just keeping it football, he has to be looking at that roster saying, yeah, if Breece Hall is healthy and those weapons, let's go. He has to be saying that.
He also has to be saying, wait a second, this could be my only option. And it's kind of crazy that it looks that way, but it does right now, that the Green Bay Packers don't want him back. And I sort of understand why. They've had him for a million years. They drafted Jordan Love a couple years ago. They want to find out if Jordan Love's the answer. And right now, and I think the reason why the Jets are the one team interested is because they're the one team that feels like they're legitimately a quarterback away. I don't think there's any other team in the NFL that can honestly look at their roster and say, hey, if we add Aaron Rodgers, we're a contender. I think the Jets are doing that. They look at their roster and say, add Aaron Rodgers, we've got a shot. But Aaron may be in a position where, and I think this is what's holding it up, because there's a part of me, Jerry, that's nervous that the longer this drags out, the greater chance it is that it's going to blow up.
Someone comes in last minute, all of a sudden there's another suitor that appears magically. And also, it's the Jets, meaning luck has never really been fully on your side.
It really hasn't. It really hasn't. Since Joe Namath made that guarantee, there's no such thing as luck. Why do you hate the Jets, by the way? You're a Giant fan. You're fat and happy. I don't mean physically. I mean you've won championships.
Yeah, and it's not a hatred like I would say maybe I have for the Mets, and that's a whole different story.
The Mets?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll have to address that coming up.
I guess I walked right into that one. My hatred for the Jets is just because of the Jet fans I grew up in Brooklyn, just outside of Bensonhurst,
right,
which is like a neutral territory. It's not devoted to one team. It could be your group of friends could have a lot of Jets fans, could have a lot of Giants. I had predominantly Jets fans in my life. And they were obnoxious. Some of them are texting me right now. Like, it's going to be amazing that you're going WFAN and Aaron Rodgers is going to sign today. Like, that's the texts I'm getting. So they drove me to this. The hatred.
So it's our fault is what you're saying.
Of course. Of course.
I'm curious, because I guess I understand why I would be obnoxious or Beningo would be obnoxious. But what specifically did we talk trash about? Not us specifically, but, like, we've won nothing.
True.
Like, what the hell is the Jet fan said to you when you were growing up in Brooklyn? And I'm trying to do some math quickly in my head. So you're growing up in Brooklyn in the mid-'90s?
It's a lot of Testaverde. It's a lot of Chad Pennington, right. Curtis Martin.
Also known as our glory days.
Yeah. The good times. We'll call it the good times. I could sum it up like this, and I'll try not to take too much on this. But I love the optimism of any fan. Like, I'm a Knicks fan.
Right.
And I'm optimistic. So that tells you where my reality is. I always felt that my Jet fan friends were always super optimistic of how this is going to be our year and this guy's going to do this and you watch, this is our time. The optimism never matched the realism for me as a kid. And also, like I said, I was outnumbered. The Giants, yes, we have Super Bowls. We've also seen some down times.
Oh, yeah.
This is also the Dave Brown era I'm talking about. So It wasn't always roses for us either in from 90 to 2000. So
is this fake optimism from us, though? Because I've heard that from a few people that you're not a Super Bowl contender if you add Aaron Rodgers. I genuinely think they're in the mix. It doesn't mean I think they would win a Super Bowl or they're better than Kansas City or Buffalo and Cincinnati. But they, to me, by trading for Aaron Rodgers, and obviously there's more work to do in the offseason, but by just doing that, to me, we're in the mix. Is that the phony optimism of Jet fans from the past?
It's the exact reason why I have not hated on them this past season, this whole offseason, because I believe for the first time in a very long time, maybe you could say some moments of the Sanchez era potentially, I think the optimism matches the realism. I think that is a real team. I think they are a quarterback away from, do I put them ahead of Mahomes and Burrow? Certainly not. But are they in the conversation for being first? Like, could they do what the Jaguars did this year? Right. Absolutely. And then when you get to that point, it doesn't matter. Just get there. Because anything could happen.
Well, yeah, look, get there. One thing I've heard is, Aaron Rodgers loses championship games at home. Okay. I don't know what the hell a championship game at home is. Like, what is that? Are you actually allowed to make a championship game and host it? Like, I'm not familiar with that concept. So if Aaron Rodgers is able to pull that off for the New York Jets, that's something I've never seen.
I think Aaron Rodgers I'm a big Sopranos fan, right? And obviously I'm a TV guy. That's kind of been my whole career to this point. There's a scene in The Sopranos where Tony grabs Chris by the collar and says, look, you don't have to love me, but you will respect me.
Right.
And I think that's what Aaron Rodgers is saying. If he comes to the Jets, like, yeah, you don't have to love me. Yeah, I lose games at home. Fine. You are going to respect what I've done to this point. And I'm sorry, everyone in the AFC, I can't believe you got me over here sticking up for the Jets. You're a slick one. You're a slick dude. I think the Jets are a real threat if Aaron Rodgers comes. And I can't believe I'm saying that on these airwaves. It pains me.
Now, let's see how slick I am. What if I told you I have audio of Aaron Rodgers talking about joining the New York Jets? Exclusive audio that I may have found on social media. You want to hear it?
I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers talking about joining the Jets.
When I saw Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson burn the cheesehead, I knew all was right in the world. The dark retreat was worth it, and becoming a New York Jet was destiny.
Can you believe that? He's come clean.
We were all waiting to hear that. That's a great break for the station. That's great. That's a great break.
Dude, this is an AI, obviously. It's an AI of Aaron Rodgers. And when I first saw it, I thought for a second, holy crap, that sounds like Aaron Rodgers.
It was good AI.
And he's crazy enough to say that. Is he not crazy enough to all of a sudden just release a video of saying, boy, that cheesehead convinced me. I can't wait to join the New York Jets. Like, if that came out today in the next 4 hours, would that stun you?
Not at all. And at the very least, he certainly has seen all the Sauce Gardner videos.
Oh, you're damn right.
He's seen them probably multiple times. So, look, also, it's nice to feel that someone wants you.
Yeah.
To feel one, because you could say the Packers want him, or they did, and like obviously that history, but also when you look at the moves they've made over the past few years, and just, I get it. Look, they showed him the love, they gave him the money. And that's why the roster maybe didn't match where the talent level could have been, because they gave Aaron Rodgers all of the money.
They did.
You know, you could talk about Devontae Adams left because, Aaron Rodgers got the money. But it's just nice to want it to be wanted. And the Jets certainly have put that out there on blast.
No doubt. So here's my concern, and I alluded to before, and I've always thought this way, like with trades in sports and even free agent signings. The longer something drags out, the more worried you get. And you tell me if this is a Hollywood thing too. Like, the more you haven't heard from who auditions you, I guess? Casting directors?
Producers. Yeah.
The longer you don't hear from Spielberg, the more you say, this isn't going to happen. The longer a trade doesn't go through, the longer the Nets didn't hire Ime Udoka, the longer it didn't happen, the more I start to say, holy crap, the longer the Knicks didn't acquire Donovan Mitchell, I said, uh-oh. This may fall apart.
I was going to say that to you. Is this potentially your version of Donovan Mitchell? Right? Like,
yes.
If he goes somewhere, if it doesn't happen,
it'd be kicking the ball.
This is the Jets' version of Donovan Mitchell.
Well, when Donovan was traded to Cleveland, did it feel like a kick in the groin?
Worse. It felt worse.
It was worse.
And look, also, there was no way to know the Knicks would potentially be a 5-seed, 9-game winning streak. That was not the outlook of this team, especially if you look at all the sports books over-unders on their win total.
Right.
That was not the expectation. So it's easy now to say, we're okay without Donovan Mitchell, but I will say, if you put him on this team as currently constructed, and maybe we're missing RJ and Grimes or Obi or whatever, it's a real threat.
What's crazy sometimes is that, and this is just the way my brain works, I don't know if I speak for everybody, the longer there's a transaction that's out there, the longer you just accept, like, oh my God, this is really going to happen, and the more painful it makes it if you don't get the guy. Like, I understand people listening right now, because I feel the same way. We're all sick of talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
We all are. But it's the number one story in sports. It's the number one story here because it's important, because it's big, because it's huge. And the longer it drags out, two things. A, the longer it becomes painful if he doesn't come here. But the more I get concerned, and the more I start to wonder, well, what's the holdup? Because the evidence starts to point that Green Bay's done with him, and the Jets clearly want him. So it comes down to one simple thing. Does Aaron Rodgers want to play for the New York Jets? And it worries me that the longer he thinks about that, the more time he has to say, the Jets? No thanks. And that scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I've really been racking my brains about, because look, in my world, in the acting world, the equivalent is, I've been up for parts where I've been told, okay, you're the guy, you're getting the offer, it's coming. And it's like Monday, Tuesday, no offer comes, and someone else enters into the mix. It's like, oh, we didn't know this person was available. We got to rethink this. And of course, I don't get the part. That's what's happened a million times. I don't know, like you said earlier, who's the team that's going to come out of nowhere, and we wouldn't hear about. I think you'd hear about teams taking themselves out of the market.
Yeah.
There may be a team lying in wait covertly that you don't know about. I don't know who it is, though.
My biggest fear is just Green Bay decides, you know what? F it, let's run it back.
I don't think you can. Can you really do that? They've basically said, we're okay with you leaving. We're fine with it. We want to help you out the door.
Yeah, we're letting you talk to another team.
I just don't see that. I don't see how that could make. I mean, it would take a lot of mending of fences for that to happen.
Now, the other thing that's going on is Odell Beckham Jr. We mentioned Odell because for some reason Sauce Gardner put that picture out of them FaceTiming. So Odell Beckham Jr. is doing a workout today in which a lot of teams are going to watch him. The Giants are going to watch him. And I was thinking about it after Sauce Gardner made the comment last night on his video stream that this is going to be a package deal, that other guys are going to come. And often over the last few weeks, people have asked me, have you learned your lesson, Evan? And I want to say very loudly, I have not learned any lessons from the failures of the Brooklyn Nets. If Aaron Rodgers wants Odell Beckham Jr., bring his ass home. And you know what? You can slap me around for saying this. I'm a sellout. I'm so desperate for winning. If Aaron Rodgers wants Odell Beckham Jr., bring him in. If Aaron Rodgers wants Jordy freaking Nelson, bring him in. If Aaron Rodgers wants Randall Cobb or James Jones, bring them in. If Aaron Rodgers wants your ass lining up in the slot, go suit up for the Jets.
I got a lot of wiggle left still. First of all, you said something blasphemous. Bring him home?
Bring him home.
Whoa. Yeah, New York, sure.
Yeah.
That's not Jets locker room's not home.
Same stadium.
No, it doesn't matter. It's different locker rooms. Maybe. I don't even know. Probably the same I don't even know how it works over there.
Different rooms.
That stadium's a disaster. I don't even know how the locker rooms work.
Amen. We agree on that.
That is blasphemous that you said bring him home and you were alluding to the Jets.
Yeah.
Now, you have me. Odell, sure. If Aaron Rodgers is a big Odell fan, wants to play with him, I get it. But you lose me when you start saying if he wants Randall Cobb, bring him. Because then you're going to be in the same situation where, yeah, you got the guy, and now the roster is his roster. You have a great roster. You don't need Randall Cobb. You don't even need Odell necessarily. And look, with Odell would come some other discussions potentially.
Yeah,
But
dude, if this was a discussion, let's say the Jets signed Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously the Giants re-upped with Daniel Jones, and we're having a legitimate Odell discussion.
yes.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'd say, you know what? Stay away. Like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with the drama. We saw the plane incident. He's coming off a major injury. I'm not even sure how good he is anymore.
Right.
I would shy away. But I admit this, and I have to own this. I'm a sucker. If the superstar, look, KD wanted Jeff Green. Bring him in. They wanted DeAndre Jordan. That was a failure. Bring him in. So I've learned nothing from the mistakes of life. Now, some lessons I've learned in life, like I learned early on, if she cheats on you, you probably should get out. Like I did learn that when I was 20 years old. But this whole superstar thing, I haven't learned a damn lesson. If Aaron Rodgers wants Odell Beckham Jr., come on.
So you didn't learn if we have to send Jared Allen away for a ham sandwich, that's fine.
That's
Just
different.
do it. You didn't learn that. That's different. Okay.
Very different.
And look, you are now giving me flashbacks as to why I won't say hate, strong word, dislike for Jets fans. You're going hardcore Jets Nets right now.
It took you 17 minutes?
You couldn't be more Jets Netsy right now. You're Netsy Jets Netsy right now in a way I've never heard before.
Do you want Odell for the Giants, by the way?
Yeah, because look, I think what we all miss so often is nuance, right? Especially when people talk about the Daniel Jones contract, and I'm sure you and Craig talked about that at length, so we don't have to talk about that, but there's nuance. Do I want Odell? Yeah, want to know why? Look at our receiving core.
100%, I totally get it.
But if I'm the Jets and I look at your receiving core and your options, I might feel a little differently. But for the Giants, yeah, if that's what we're looking at, you got to take Odell seriously here because of, I love Isaiah Hodgins, love Richie James. We need help.
They got to get better. No, I completely agree with you. I guess the way I would look at it with the Giants, and by the way, you're 1,000% right. The situations are different.
Right.
So, and my view is if Aaron Rodgers wants him, go get him. Not, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo's the quarterback. Do you want Odell? No, I'm not interested. I think with the Giants, my view on this, and it's good that they're out there watching his workout. They should be scouting, seeing if he has anything left. My answer is I want better. Adam Thielen's available. He's 32 years old. I don't believe he's on the decline at all. I believe that basically the targets just went away with the emergence of Justin Jefferson. Bring him in. Like Juju Smith-Schuster, I think, is more reliable than Odell Beckham Jr. So I wouldn't be anti-Odell. I would just be more, if I'm the Giants, because you're probably going to lose Darius Slayton. All right, he's probably going to get more money. Sterling Shepard cannot be relied on if you decide to bring him back. And you mentioned it. Hodgins was great last year, Isaiah Hodgins. Richie James, okay. You got to get better. And I think the Giants can do and should do better than just Odell Beckham.
I'm scouting Odell. I am for sure calling Thielen's agent and seeing where his head's at. The receiving core is so decimated. And look, I love Slayton, but the drops, I've lost hair because of the drops that he's had in big moments. Literal hair has fallen out of my head when he's dropped some of these passes. So I'm not saying I'm happy to see him go, but let's reboot this whole thing. Yeah, I'm calling Thielen's agent right away because that's part of the nuance of the Daniel Jones conversation. He didn't even have a second round. I know we're segueing to the Giants. He just needs help. Get him help, or else you can't really judge the contract.
You actually have a really good full set of head of hair. Like, you haven't lost anything up there. Let me see.
Yeah, not bad in the front. The back, and because I'm short, not great. A little light in the back. I'm 43 years old, but I'm hanging on. I got to say, I'm hanging on strong. The kids are what makes it fall out, too.
That's what I'm waiting for. And you have two kids.
I got two, yeah.
How old are they?
almost 4 and almost 2.
Oh, my God.
We're in a man-to-man defense getting exposed.
How do you handle, I'm sorry, I'm fascinated by this because I've got a 4-year age difference. How do you handle what I like to call the double poo? Like, how do you handle that? At the same time, like, who does what? What if it's really bad at the same time? Like, how do you game plan that?
Yeah, and I know people without kids love hearing parents say how hard kids are. I know you all love it out there. Here's the easiest way to explain it for parents and for non-parents. Just imagine a fire broke out in your house. How would you handle a fire? You would be like, run, get the most important thing, do this. We got that. It's basically your house is on fire when it's a double poo situation.
Oh, my God, yes. Well, Jerry Ferrara is with us for the next 4.5 hours. We'll get to your calls at 877-337-6666. Plus, there were some accusations made against my man a couple of days ago when it was announced he was filling in for Craig. We will give him the floor to respond to 2 accusations made against Jerry. Plus, Yankees are falling down to injuries by the minute. We'll address that coming up.